Monday evening, the start of a new week and the start of a promising week. We can only hope and
Wednesday.
pray, right? What?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Wednesday. Okay, it was the start of my new week because I took a challenge to myself that last Wednesday when I took the little monkey out to her granddaughter day. I didn't babysit her again until today. I got to pick her up from school today, so it was my new week. So I just made a mistake. But Ron was right on top of that. So anyway, I also made a commitment on that day that everybody knows that I walk. I commit myself to 10,000 steps a day, of which, except for the day after I got out of the hospital last year, about a year ago now, I've walked at least 10,000 steps every day but one, and that was the day I had to go back in for surgery. Every other day I've walked at least 10,000, but I got crazy. And last Thursday, I made the commitment to walk 30,000 steps every day, which comes to about 45,000 to 6,000, 60,000 steps a day. And if you just divide that by the 5,280 feet, that's a lot of walking. So far, I've made it every day. I've made it again today with days of 38,000, 35,000, 33,000, 31,000, and two in the 30s, plus, other after the 33, 35s, like 220, 330, whatever. So I've walked a lot of steps. But when I was talking to God today, I thanked Him because at my age, I shouldn't be doing that probably. I don't know what all the love is about, but thank you, Margaret. I know you love me with all your heart. Margaret, I do want to talk to you later tonight if we can chat a little bit, but, we got things to do. All of us do, but it's shaping up, guys, to be an amazing week. It's really shaping up. I don't know how the show's going to go tonight. I looked at things a little bit yesterday. Ron said he's got me. I have not looked at my messenger all day today. I don't know what came in. I don't know who did what. I spent the day with my granddaughter. And before you guys hate me, it was my first day picking her up from school of many. And she said, "Where are we going now?" And I said, "Where do you want to go?" She says, "I'm hungry." The kid is always hungry when I first meet her. "Where do you want to go?" She said, "McDonald's." I refuse to eat McDonald's foods, and you guys know why. I said, okay. I took her to McDonald's, and I got her Happy Meal. And I had one happy granddaughter. Now, I've heard that McDonald's has cleaned everything up. I'm only hoping and praying they did. Because even she ate the whole meal. She's 4 years old, and that usually doesn't happen. So we're just at where we're at. That's all we can say. Like I said, it is what it is. But I'm gonna say the pledge, and I'm gonna do the talk about the children, and then we're gonna get into the show, and we're gonna see what we can have some fun with. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to
Texas. Oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no town of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend
Set that
her
stuff up
still
to take the color
today,
today.
'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Try giving it today. I got a nice thing to show you. Yes, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. When you listen to them lyrics, when you listen to the words of that song, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing the fact that this man put this song together. It's quite amazing that the people we got leading our team, and as I've told you guys, I recently got involved with TikTok. And I want to talk about some of this stuff tonight, about Bookface and other things. I'm not going to lie to anybody tonight, guys. This is the most unprepared for a show I've ever been. I was a few minutes late coming on because I wrote down a gematria. I wanted to get it checked out. And was talking to Ron about some things. And I got home from my daughter's late tonight. Having lots of trouble with my phone. Having lots of trouble with my everything. You never know if anything's going to run. But before I go any further, as I said, I have not been on. I just come into Messenger right now. It's the first time I've been on today. But I wanted to check something out. I apologize. I was on. I wanted to check something out to check out a friend of mine here on Messenger. Which naturally the phone will act up when I need to check it out. Where is she at? Bear with me a minute, guys. I need to check something out here.
And that's going to be happening to everybody's phone here in the next few days.
I'm sure it is, Ron. Ron says it's going to happen to everybody's phone. It makes me feel a lot better. What I was looking for, guys, is every Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, I get together with Marianne. She gives me play-by-play of Bruce's big call. She gives me play-by-play every night, every Tuesday and Thursday night. We were not on the same same wavelength last night. I'm sitting here eating supper very late because I had to go do some errands. Actually, when we should have been eating supper. And me and Ron didn't eat until it was about 8:30, and I'm sitting here and I go, "Oh my goodness, Ron." He goes, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I got to jump on with Marianne. Bruce is on." So I got on to tell her that I'm not going to be there until about 9 o'clock because I'm just now finishing cooking supper and we're just sitting down to eat. And she's not there. And she hadn't been there for over an hour. She never came on all night, but when I just went and checked now, I seen that she said that she wasn't on. We'll catch up later. So she's okay. That's I didn't care about Bruce's big call last night. I cared about my friend Marianne and wanting to make sure that she was okay. And now that I know she's okay, we can rock and roll. So let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about Super Jimmy. His little sister, who I got a picture of the other day. And as soon as I switch it over, I'll share it with you guys. Super Jimmy had it taken and asked his mommy to send it to me, and it melts my heart. I mean, put tears in my eyes. I'm a man that's not afraid to admit that sometimes I shed a tear. And if you guys think I'm any less manly, that's okay. I admire your opinion when it's right, but if you're that low, then we don't need things like that. But that being said, I also noticed that I believe it was how do I want to say this? Patriot Dana 1111 was kind of having a little chat with Renee, Jimmy's mom. And guys, Renee is asking for prayers that her kidneys are getting worse. She's asking for prayers. She wants to make the med beds so she can be there with her little boy and her little girl and her husband and all of us patriots. We're all family. So please, please, every time you say a prayer, keep Renee in mind. They're coming, Renee. Jimmy, they're coming, so you just give mommy a hug. And you keep her healthy with your love and your hugs. Because I know as a parent, and I miss the hugs. My kids used to hug me all the time. As I've told people, I'm not cutting my ex-wife down, but that's my mom and dad. See that hat, that cup? This is my insulated cup. That's my mom and dad. My niece made me that for my 70th birthday party. Made it for my daughter. My daughter gave it to me. But I miss the hugs from my son and my daughter. My daughter hugged me here a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, wow, I couldn't remember the last time she had. I get hugs all the time from my grandkids. But Jimmy, just smother mommy with hugs. She's a fighter. Everything's going to be okay. The beds are going to be there, and we're all going to be okay, Jimmy. Patriot 11, I hope you're doing good in school. I hope Grandma and Grandpa's doing good. I hope Mom and Dad and your family's doing good. And we're going to ride horses together someday, my man. Patriot Wyatt Earp and Patriot Karate Kid. Once again, I'm sure you guys are back in school. And, have you ever noticed when kids go back to school, parents get crazier? I mean, I remember when I was raising my kids, when they was out of school, I loved it, man. I loved having my kids with me every day. That's why I switched to work in the weekends so they could come down with Uncle Ron and Grandma and Grandpa. Unfortunately, my dad died when my son was 4 and my daughter was a little over 2. But I love being around my kids, and they go back to school and it was like there was a void there. Because, see, I started off working Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 12 hours. But I would usually work 16 hours on them days. So I didn't work any other days, but I was getting paid with 36 hours just like I worked 40. And then the 12 hours or the 8 hours or 4 hours, whatever they decided to work, was all double time after the first 4 hours. The first 4 was regular. Excuse me, first 4 was time and a half. And then the other was double time. But I missed it when I wasn't there and that. When I went back to school, and I worked out a system with my kids where they got a lot of half a days off because they had to go to the doctor. If you know what I mean. And they got to go to lunch or the movies or fishing or, whatever they wanted to do. Me and my daughter, we had a thing that we loved watching Bonanza in the afternoon. And they used to have it where you could watch 2 or 3 Bonanzas. Yeah, here's a little 3rd, 4th, 5th grade girl. Just love Bonanza. But it all is what it is. But Patriot Princess, our queen, and Patriot Hunter. I seen Grandma posted something the other night about buses. I didn't really get into it, but I know you guys are back at school, and good luck. Princess, I expect you to write me a letter and tell me what kind of season you had in your softball and at this year. I figure when everything shapes out and that, this might sound crazy, but I'm thinking about buying a golf course too. If I could find one, buy a golf course with just the Patriots people will go, or build one and a Patriot. Just us Patriots will go. It won't cost you nothing. You want lunch, you come in, you have lunch free. And I'll teach you how to golf because I'm going to go back 30 or 40 years. And back then I was one heck of a guy. I got 2 hole-in-ones. Hunter, I don't know what I can teach you. Maybe my moves that I had when I was young. I used to be pretty good with the girls. Maybe I could teach you. What do you think about that, Jana? Teach your young man how to hit on these girls, these cute little girls? Just teasing, just teasing. I was shy as heck. I didn't have no moves at all. The only move I had was learning how to hit a ball, which I could do really good, and learning how to catch a ball that I could do excellent. On the baseball field, if I was talking to a girl on the baseball field, I had a line like you wouldn't believe. I'm not going to say it here because some people might take it as dirty, but it wasn't. But outside of the baseball field, when I was in the real world, I was bashful. Patriot Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo with Grandpa John. Boy, I can't wait to meet you guys, and we'll go do whatever you want to do. We'll have fun. That's what life's going to be, guys. Whenever don't let Grandma and Grandpa, don't let Mom and Dad, don't let anybody get hung up on working. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 is going to provide so many jobs that Mommy and Daddy's going to be working, but it's not going to be work. They're going to come home and they're going to do something that I never did. When I worked, I never brought my work home. When I walked outside that factory gate, I never talked about work. We'd go on Friday night before I went to the weekends. We'd go to this little tavern, Jensen's. And it was our factory tavern. It's just up the road, not far away. And we'd go there, and boy, people get talking about their terrible day and their this and their this and their that. And I said, guys, we're not at work anymore. Leave it there. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about things that's important. And that, like, it's your turn to buy the next round. Been there, right, Jana? Hey, that's the thing I love with people. I mean, you never had an empty beer bottle. Someone seen you with one, they got you a beer. We had to be so well known in there that, I literally drank one year the whole summer because I got in really, really good with the 2 bartenders. They were both girls. Wanted to date them both, kind of did one. The other one, I used her to get to the first one. But, hey, it was all friendship, right? It was fun. And I'm not talking like I was the world's biggest drinker. I wasn't. I couldn't outdrink my brother Russ. He wouldn't allow it. I ain't kidding you. He'd have crapped his pants and threw up all over himself in a gutter just to make sure that he drank more than anybody else. But he's a loving guy. He's a great dad now. He's a great dad. Been married for almost 50 years. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that the man that had no respect for women at all growing up would find one and stay with for almost 50 years? You know, and as long as he keeps doing what she says he's supposed to do, they'll stay together forever. I'm just joking. I love my brother Russ. Had a great talk with my sister yesterday. Little Leona and little Ilana, I just wish we had some kind of magic dust. You know how in the movies they throw the magic dust and we could just stop and enjoy your growth. It's the same way with my grandkids. I looked at my little granddaughter today. I looked at her. She got off the bus and I'm watching her walk up towards me and I'm thinking, when did my little granddaughter, the little super gymnast, when did she turn into such a woman? Young lady. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Grandpa John, you don't like it, do you? How about you, Grandma Jana? Jana? Do you like seeing your little girl? She's still young. Well, of course, I think she's about the same age as, you know, Patriot Super Gymnast just turned 10. The 4th of this month is Patriot 7's 9th birthday. We're celebrating by the 2nd. We're going to a White Sox game. That's what he wanted to do. Patriot Super Gymnast made me a big sign the other day. On the sign, she has one of these boards that's on one side, it's a whiteboard, on the other one, it's a chalkboard. And she asked me what my TikTok website was, and I told her. She asked me what my other ones, this one here, Patriot5, Patriot6, and Family was, and I told her. A couple other ones I think she was. And she puts Patriot5, my papa. The best patriot in the world. Something to that regard. Follow him on TikTok, and she puts up there. Follow him on YouTube. He does videos, and he loves to be a patriot. And he turns all of us into patriots. We love him. You know, you get pretty humble when a 10-year-old girl does something like that. It's quite amazing. Patriot Small Hank. I got up this morning because, you know, when you're old, sometimes you don't stay in bed until you're ready to get up. Sometimes you have to get up and go to that thing called a bathroom, and that's how I had to do it. Plus, I always use the excuse I have to get up and let my dog out first. And Patriot Little Hank, he stopped me, and we started talking. He's standing there in just his little underwear, eating his breakfast. And he just starts talking to me. I had a T-shirt on that had dinosaur on it. And I bought it for his birthday party 2 years ago because the theme was dinosaurs. So I bought the shirt. He said, I really love that shirt. I said, well, thank you. He says, you're the greatest grandpa in the world. You always do things for us. Makes you feel good. And all you grandparents, I know you're experiencing this. And for those of you who are not grandparents, who are just parents, you'll get your turn. You hear me, Renee? You're going to get your turn to be a grandparent. You look at Jimmy, and now he's going to reward you with at least 3 to 4. And for your husband, he'll even make sure one of them is a boy to carry on the family name. Patriot, little monkey. I have no words to describe. I was walking today, and it was raining, so I just walked in her house to get steps. She was watching TV, and I wasn't paying attention to her. And today was red day at her school. And I give her a beautiful little red and white dress. Beautiful. And she told her mom, I got to wear my grandpa's dress. And her mom fixes her up with little pigtails and puts a red bow in each one of them. But I wasn't paying attention to her. And all of a sudden I'm walking, and I walked by her, and bap, right here, she caught me. Well, I was walking this way, so it was right here. She catches me with a bow that she took out of her hair to get my attention. And she laughed and she laughed, and I kept her laughing so long. She finally says, Grandpa, let me go, let me go. I gotta go potty. I'm gonna pee my. She was right on the verge. I let her go. Fortunately, she made it. And then we got little Kira, who, as I went home tonight to get my tablet to do the show, she met me at the door, put her hands up and says, up. That was the first time she ever said Grandpa. Well, that's what I'm thinking she said, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I held her. She gave me a kiss. And then she looks at me and says, down. I said, what? She's down, please. She's not even 2 years old, and she's got the courtesy to say, please. That doesn't happen much. So that takes care of the kids, and I'm going to move along now. I got this. I was just looking at it, and it says, ready to flip the switch. Empire State Building flipped the switch green April 18th, exactly 4 months, 10 days ago. 10/4, the day of the FEMA test alert message received. Prepare for the emergency broadcast system. 11.4, tomorrow is 0 day. Prepare for cyber power attacks. We have already seen states like Michigan, MI, lose power this week, green light. After the Black Swan event, the stock market will go into turmoil known as Black Friday. The crash will cripple the dollar, and silver and gold will continue to reach new heights. X/files, it will probably start on Friday. Banks will be offline all weekend. Digital money will disappear, followed by strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids. What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists in Russia. ISO 222 tokens like XRP, XLM are part of the new system, along with silver and gold. That's our ticket to the moon. Get ready to switch. Get ready for the switch to be made. It could have been made already during the CrowdStrike outage. They just haven't shown us yet. Everything we know is about to change. Blackout necessary. We have finally reached minute 3, files agenda 30. You know, that says a lot, guys, and there's so much that's true. And for those of you who follow me on hold on a second. I got something here from Van I want to read here in a minute. I don't even remember what I was talking about because I can see Nat, and I wanted to talk about that. But anyway, this is from Van. He sent me this and he said, Ralph, I was talking to Mike Penny on the phone 2 weeks ago. He told me that through Dan Baxter in Florida, there is fully activated special beds, and it is free. You just need to furnish a place to stay. A place to stay and your meals, but the bed was free. I never did get back with Mike to see how I contact him. Maybe after this week and just through would let us know. Take care, Larry. Larry, Van, whatever you want to go by. All I'm going to ask you, if you can get back with Mike, could you do so? We have some people that could use them really bad right now. I've been talking about Renee, and Renee needs them. But do you think you could talk to him, explain to him, or have him call me? Have him call me and talk to me and let me explain Renee's situation. And maybe, just maybe, we could get a hold of them and Renee could get to this special place and be taken care of. There might be some other people who is in need maybe as bad as need as Renee. But I'm open to anything that will help. And I thank you very much, Larry, Van, whatever, that you sent me that. As I said, guys, I'm winging it tonight. My special lady, Marianne, was not on Bruce last night. I have not listened to Bruce. I turned it on and Ron got talking to me, and I thought, okay, I'll sit here and talk to him until I go home, and then I'll move forward. It didn't work that way. I went home, but I didn't move forward. But that's okay. Ron's got the reading part for me, and we'll read it, and we'll go over it, and one thing I do want to talk about is the calendar. I was always told that the one calendar we're going to is 13 days behind us. But now all of a sudden, I'm getting things that we're already in November. So I'm really stupid about things like this. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat something I don't understand. Savior, ooh, I lost a star. See, that fell off my hat. You know what they say? Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. And boy, did we get rain here last night. The Chicago White Sox played baseball last night, if that's what you want to call what they do. It was beautiful. They playing the national anthem, and as they started playing the national anthem, the players were all on the field. It was sunshiny. It was beautiful. And before the national anthem was over, the umps called Roger Boslett over, the guy who's the ground crew man there, and said, get the tarp on, we're calling the game. The game was rained out. It's unbelievable. Then we got one tremendous storm here last night. One tremendous storm. It's just so strange. But something I did see last night, guys, that really, it got me to my attention. Actually, yesterday afternoon, I was walking outside. I can't take this call, Savior. Hold on. Hello, what?
Something I did see last night, guys, really.
I don't know. Savior tried to call me. I took the call, but let's see what she wants. Okay, what? I can't hear you. What's up?
Hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. On the channel, on the news, the Hispanic channel.
Okay.
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Are you there? Okay. On the Hispanic channel, it's probably on all the news. They have a picture of Pelosi. They have a picture of Pelosi, a video, admitting to the fraud of the voting fraud.
Really?
In another office. So it's on the news now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well-
On the Hispanic channel, it's probably on all the news.
Okay, I'll check it out as soon as the show's over, okay?
All right.
Okay, thanks. Sure you guys heard that? That it's all over the news that Crazy Nancy
I get some Filipino sitting down.
admitted to everything.
That's how good my folks think today.
What's this? You want to know? You want to know how phones are working here, guys? Savior calls me. Ron looks down at his phone thinking he's watching what I'm doing. And there's a picture of a Filipino lady in a video sitting on the bathroom toilet. That's what they're doing. But finishing my story before Xavier called me. I was out walking and I go down to the sportsman's club that I want to rebuild, but I'm starting to have second thoughts about that. Really thinking about buying it and building a couple nice houses for me and Ron down there.
I was all thinking about that.
What's that?
I was thinking about that. That would be a nice.
Doing that and building another sportsman's club someplace else for them. But while I was walking, not one, but 2 Army helicopters went over. Guys, we live in a town of right at 200 people. I'd like to say that's if we're soaking wet. We have 200 because they look bigger. I'm truthfully not sure how many we have. But 200 people, but to see 2 military helicopters go over, you know, and it wasn't your ordinary military helicopters. I don't know if you've ever seen the helicopters that are jet regulated. We had one. We actually had a jet regulated helicopter when I worked at Gould Battery. The owner, the president, whatever you want, he was whatever he wanted to be called. He came to our plant to visit our plant because we was the #1 plant of all of his plants. We used to make the batteries for the United States Navy, the submarines. So we knew what we was doing. And he came in, and we had to clear the parking lot out. We all had to park in certain rows, so we had plenty of place to land his jet-operated helicopter. I mean, this thing booked. This wasn't your ordinary helicopter. And that's what these 2 looked like yesterday. You could hear it being a helicopter, but the way it was booking, it was not moving like a regular helicopter. So I do have I know what I want to do. I know what I wanted to read here. 10 poorest cities in America by the percentage below poverty level. Detroit 32.5, Buffalo 29.9, Cincinnati 27.8, Cleveland 27.0, Miami 26.9, St. Louis 26.8, El Paso 26.4, Milwaukee 26.2. But you know what's funny? What I just read there, below the poverty level, that many percentage points.
They never mentioned Buckingham.
But they didn't mention Buckingham, Illinois. No, but what's funny about this, guys, is the fact that when the Hat was president, none of them was under the poverty level. Now I'm going to share one quick story before I do my gematria, and then we'll move on to Bruce's reading, and then we'll move on to Judy, and then I'll get you guys out of here. I can't finish the story because I've totally forgot it. So let's move on to the gematria, and maybe I'll remember it. I've only got one gematria for tonight, and it's something that's Ron said to me when I walked in. Mark Z made a statement when he comes back. It was another nothing burger this weekend. It was another nothing burger this weekend.
This day, today.
Well, Ron says today. I thought he said the weekend, so that's what I took it as. But isn't it funny because you listen to all these other people, and they're so excited. I think Wolverine's going to pee his pants in excitement because he's so pumped up. I listen to all these other people. Margaret just called me. This lady gets so excited. Sometimes I have to just say, take a breath, calm down. And that's the way we should be. I can't tell you what Bruce, the little bit I heard of Bruce, he sounded very excited. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you, Bruce can only do what I can do. Bruce can only do what other people do. He's not always right. He's not always wrong. It is what it is.
Well,
The same as me. What's up?
we don't know if he's right or not because they're doing things beyond our back.
Yeah, we don't know if they're right. He might be, everything he's saying is probably right because everything he's saying is probably things he was told they want him to say. But I thought that was pretty decent. And then one last thing I want to talk about before I do the thing here, it popped in my head, is there's 2 people running for president. One of the people was in North Carolina, and he says to the people, he says, you gotta love the indictments. You just gotta love the indictments. Oh, God, how I love a good indictment. And I'm thinking you should really write all that stuff down, check the gematria, and check it out, because I'm telling you, every one of them was a com. And he's going on and on. He says, before the election, there will be one more indictment. 2 hours later, it come out that he was going to be indicted on 5 different charges. And then you go to TikTok, or you go to other places, and all these people, I was on Facebook Face today, and one of my best friends posted something. If you're so excited about voting for a felon, then you're not a true patriot or American. No, I'm excited about voting for him because he's the one person that we have that can, as he says, make America great again. And I went on and I read this thing, guys. I read this thing 5 times. And this guy is a good friend of mine. I worked with him for over 25 years in a factory. And I says, Cornell, I don't understand this post. Because I believe in him. I don't believe in America. I don't believe in our freedoms. Well, let's see. When he was president, Cornell, we had no wars. When he was president, Cornell, we never had one serviceman or woman lose their life. When he was president, you could afford to stop at a gas station and not, when you put $5 in, you at least knew that you could get home. When he was president, food prices was down. When he was president, we had a safe and secure border. I could go on and on if you want me to, but I'm not going to. Now, you want me to vote for somebody who, she literally come out the other day and says, when we depopulize the United States, we will be better. When we depopulize, that's just like saying she's going to make sure a lot of Americans die. And you want to vote for her? Are you kidding me? Oh, I love the fact that her and Big Mike get together and say, when they was growing up, their parents was strictly against rich people. And rich people should have nothing better than an ordinary person. These are coming from a black man who him and his husband literally own 3 mansions, together are valued over $40-some million. Plus they own another place in Chicago. Are you kidding me? We could vote for a person who did whatever she had to do. Remember, this is a person that when she tried to run against Sleepy, the worst president ever in the history of the United States of America, when she tried to get the nomination, she didn't get one single vote. And now all of a sudden, because she realized after all the, now guys, you got to be prepared for this. You got to be prepared for this, because she realized after all of these years, after everything that she's been through, she realized she was a black woman, an African American. Even though her parents, one is from India and one is from Jamaica, somehow
Got a little African blood in it.
the person that she believes in, not God, because she doesn't believe in God, but the person she believes in must have convinced her that she's now an African American. But not only is she an African American, she can turn everything around and go to Atlanta, Georgia, and become a Southern Belle. Are you freaking kidding me? And you want me to vote for that piece of crap? It ain't going to happen. And America if you see this video, anybody that votes for her, you're the ones that's against the freedom. You're the one that's against the flag. You're the one that's against for anything that stands for justice. One lady quoted the other day, she quoted, the hat would sell the United States for $1 if the $1 would go into his pocket and help him with his money. He would sell them for $1. Really? This is a man that for 4 years never took 1 penny. In 4 years, he donated money. In 4 years, he never, ever did anything when it come to money other than lose over $500 million. But the man that cheated him, and they say, you know, that he has a new home in Castle Rock, this man has put millions and millions and millions. Does it seem funny that we send something someplace to a country and then they trace it and find out that, oh, this country sent millions of dollars back to this man or this man's son or this man's brother, probably even his wife? The most corrupt people in the world. So when someone, and I get up mad as everybody else, guys, because I wanted it to happen so long ago. Me and Ron's been in this thing for over 15 years, and we're ready for the movie to end. And I truthfully, with all my heart, believe it's about ready to end. Let me see if I can find Bruce's intel reading here. Where are we now? Short and sweet to intel. We heard, and we have really good news of something from yesterday. There was a 24-hour around the globe connection taking place with the QFS connecting it to the banks and RCs. Yesterday, so the RCs, our guys at the RC we talked to yesterday tried to log in and couldn't to the WF, and they were blocked while the systems was being fully implemented. And by 9:30 this morning, they could see the rates at the RC, but the banks couldn't. They might be able to by now, but they could use the computers for the other needs. Now, we've talked that in the RC 16 currencies are up and solid, and 2 currencies are new USN dollar, not on screen, but has been traded on the Forex and others. And the other one is the pounds sterling. Tomorrow, they might both believe that the QFS is intricate and is taking long to globally initiate, have all, man, whoever wrote this, have all up, and there are a lot more banks than RCs and is globally being implemented. That is a beautiful thing to take place, and for us and our RC, we're fully implemented in 24 hours. So what else? Today at noon, our bondholders started to receive emails. They are now completed. They are not completed yet, and this might take another 4 to 5 days. This point is, it is continuing, things happening to get access to their funds with the email. When it's received, then they will be able to see those accounts. Now, where are we? Even though we are supposed to be on a shotgun start, we are running a little behind, and we talked on Bond PM Monday and said that we get notifications, an 800 number, so we could begin to set an exchange. In his opinion, he was hoping they would come out today or tomorrow. It's just difficult, everything that we're going through, because all it takes is one bad apple to upset the whole cart. But the good news is what I've talked to you about already is working, and it is working worldwide. The new USN dollar will go into effect, and everything. Bruce is now going to pray out the call. So please join with Bruce in what we hopefully will be the last prayer he is praying, blessing us, and receive. I hope it's not. I hope he has one more call, maybe tomorrow night, just to let us know. But, you know, Bruce has been a trooper. And I've been on him. I've been upset. I've did things. I've said things. But the fact is, it would have been easy for Bruce. How is it? What's the saying? Just walk away, Renee. He could have just walked away. Never once, no matter who took shots at him, never once have I heard Bruce lose his cool. I've lost mine. From what I understand, Mike Penny lost his big time the other night. You know, it would have been real easy for him to lose his cool, but he never has. Do I agree with everything Bruce does? No. I think Bruce should come on first and then let the people decide if they want to listen to Sue and her golden bundles and listen to Bob and all of his products. It's going to save everybody's life. But we as people, they don't ask you to send money to listen to their show. They don't ask you to send money to share things. They offer a product and service. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The way people are hurting in this world, the way some people are hurting in this group, and Ron and myself included, but I wouldn't have done it for me and Ron. But I really wish in a way that if I could turn back the clock 3 years or 3.5 years, whatever it's been since we started, that I would have come up with something. That maybe I could have generated a couple $1,000s a month, not for me and Ron, but to help the people who need the help. I really wish I would have done it. But now we're so close that I'm not gonna try. Or if nothing else, to buy some kids some candy. You know, I love my grandson, Small Hank, Patriot Small Hank, so much. I love him so much, but he has so many toys. I mean, you think of a chest. You know these chests these women used to keep all of their special things in? He has 2 of these, bigger than them. So full of toys, he can't shut the lids. There's toys in the bottom of them that he hasn't played with for 2 years. I said to his mom and dad, why don't we get rid of the kids and go through these things? And the good ones that he doesn't play with, let's donate them for kids who can have toys. We're always going to do it. We're always going to do it. And then time comes and it don't get done. Because I don't want to go in and do it by myself, because I don't want to take something that he really likes, that he plays with a lot. But so many kids he could help. And I'm going to talk to my son again because it needs to be done. But I talked to him the other day about it. He said, why would I do that? And I said, because there's kids that don't have what you have. They don't have all the toys. They don't get to go out to eat. They don't get to do this. They have nothing, a lot of them. And you could make so many kids happy. And he looked at me and says, I didn't know that, Grandpa Hank. So we'll see what happens. Global currency reset and process. Worldwide gold asset backed quantum financial system activated. Central banking debt slavery system ended last Sunday. Deep state globalists officially broke. The great military sting operation has been activated. Global military alliance making mass arrests. Major fake news media to be taken down. Prepare for the Omicron variant lockdowns. The Omicron variant is a military code for saving the children in the CCP, pedophiles, trade cleanup operations. Once again, it's only wise to have at least a month's supply of food, water, cash, medicine, essential items on hand for yourself, your family, to share with others in case of emergency. Let us all press on in the work of the Lord. Let us press on in the work of the Lord, that when life is o'er, we may gain reward. In the light for the right, let us wield a sword, the mighty sword of truth. Fear not, though enemies deride, courage, for the Lord is on our side. We will heed not what the wicked may say, but the Lord alone will be okay. We will not retreat, through our numbers may be few, when compared with the opposite host in view, but an unseen power will aid me and you in a glorious cause of truth. If we do what's right, we have no need to fear, for the Lord our helper will ever be near. In the days of trial, his saints he will cheer and prosper the cause of truth. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. I love yous all, and have a great night. Excuse me. I never did do my gematria. So let's do the gematria and then we'll end it. As soon as I do the gematria, I'm going to say good night and I'm gone. I started to do it. It was another Nuttenberger this weekend. I thought it, Ron said this weekend. He said today, which surprised me today because he comes on at like 9 o'clock in the morning. That's 3:54. The President of the United States is 3:54. 144,000 is 3:54. Q, I have limitless energy, 3:54. Diane Lorraine, Pope faithful and devoted, 3:54. The pain of children, the pain she cannot handle, 3:54. What was my name before I was born here, 3:54. My numbers prove who I claim to be, 3:54. American people didn't bomb people, the cabal did, 3:54. You are the reincarnation of Lucifer, 3:54. God forgive the repented of Alathans, 3:54. Satan is a piece of shit and God is mighty, 3:54. Innocent until proven guilty, 3:54. Your words are light, eternity, 3:54. Did you think of me or do you think of me, 3:54. How Satan tracked you, number 8, 3:54. In closing, the music played tonight is for entertainment purposes only. This video is not made for children. If they watch it, it's under the discrepancy of their parents, grandparents, legal guardians, or someone that is of adult age giving them permission. Good night. God bless. We love you all. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6.